So, like just about everyone else on the planet right now, I've been mourning the loss of Chris Cornell, who was definitely a huge idol of mine, a big influence, and just one of the greatest voices ever. It's great to see all of the tributes that people are doing and just the sheer number of them. I think the Pretty Reckless Like a Stone is so far my favorite. Taylor is just amazing, and I think they were on tour together. I'll put a link to it in the description if you want to check it out. And if you have a cool one, leave it in the comments. I would love to see them all. So I was trying to think of what I could do as a tribute. And I said, well, I have this vocal coach channel. Maybe I can help people do their own tributes by talking a little about Chris's vocal technique. And probably the most iconic thing was his high scream. I've constantly been chasing that sound. And if you're like me, if I can even get half of what he could do, I'd be happy. So let's talk about that. Now, before I start, let me say that this is an extreme vocal technique, and if you do it wrong, there's a really good chance you could hurt yourself. So be super careful, and if you're ever not sure, consult a vocal coach who knows how to do it right. If it hurts, or if you lose your voice even a little bit after doing it, or if you feel hoarse at all, stop. You're not doing it right. Proceed with caution, please. Now, to get the scream, you'll also need to have a strong upper register note. So if you have a weak or a breathy upper register, no breathing or placement or any other trick will work. You have to start with a solid connected upper register sound. So ah. Now, once you have that, what we're doing is constricting the throat a little bit to engage first the false vocal folds, the flaps right above your actual voice, and then the skin of the throat. The more distortion you want, the more you use the throat to disrupt the air to create it. Now, this feels slightly different for most people, so it usually requires some experimenting. But for me, I feel like it starts sort of at the jaw level, and as I distort more, the sensation grows and it kind of creeps up my throat and into the back of my mouth. But I never really feel it on the actual voice. So it goes something like this. So, ah! So you can hear that the sound gets more distorted, but the underlying note stays steady, so you can still hear the pitch. That's a good sign that you're doing it right. Now again, if it hurts or if it makes your voice hoarse, stop. You're not doing it right. If it feels controlled, you can then play with adding different levels of distortion depending on the note. So something like, yeah, yeah. Play around and see what you can come up with. So I hope that helps you get a little bit more Chris Cornell in your sound and that we all continue to share the amazing music that he's given us all these years. Thanks, Chris.